Hello friends, I am about to leave on a month-long trip to Europe. I'm going to be visiting 3 different countries and I need to pack. I've spent the past few weeks just gathering everything that I need for the trip and all that's left to do is pack. My flight is in like a day, so I would love to have you hang out with me as I pack for this trip. I honestly don't travel like very much, but I do seem to pack very efficiently. I also want to preface this by saying I did not go and buy a ton of like organization things for my bags, although I do really want it to be nicely organized and like aesthetically pleasing just for my own sake. But yeah, I'm gonna just work with what I have and see if I can make it into a beautifully organized, aesthetically pleasing suitcase. So anyway, just kind of giving you a bit of what to expect, you know? And behind me, I have some of the clothes that I plan to pack. Another part of the preparation that I have done over the course of the past week is just like choosing the different outfits I want to bring. Okay, no more time to waste. We gotta get started. So first things first, I am just gonna go grab my luggage. This closet right here is where all of our travel stuff lives, and it lives behind a ton of other stuff. I'll also bring out my boyfriend's suitcase. Since we have such a small space, we pack all of our travel backpacks and packing cubes and like neck pillows. Literally everything are just in each of our suitcases. So first I've got these 3 cami tops that I want to bring. So I've got white, black, and green. Along with these cami tops, I have a few peplum tops. So I will bring one of each color as well. So these are all of my tank tops. I know that at least the first week that I'm in Paris, I'm probably going to wear one of these a day because there will still likely be the heat wave going on. And then I also want to pack a few short sleeve tops. So I have a few little blouses. They're all quite flowy and comfortable. And then I'm thinking of packing some long sleeves. First, I have this one. This one kind of saved me last year when I went because it's like a nice top for going out to a nicer dinner. I've also got this darker long sleeve. I have this solid color t-shirt that I like, and I think this will be it for the tops. So we have 3 plain cami tops, 3 peplum tops, 3 short sleeve blouses, 2 long sleeves, and 1 solid colored t-shirt. So now I'm gonna go get all of the bottoms that I'm planning to bring. First, we've got this wide leg pair of light wash jeans. We've got these white jeans. And at first I thought bringing a pair of dark wash jeans would be a good idea, but as I was trying on different like combinations with the tops that I wanted to bring, I couldn't find a single combination that I actually liked. So I think I'm gonna leave these behind. For dark pants, I have these black like balloon pants. They are not as versatile as a pair of black jeans would be, so I can't really dress these up very nicely, but this will be nice for just like strolling around on a hotter day because they are so breezy. And then I also have a pair of shorts. I usually prefer to wear pants, but I'm assuming there will be days where it's so hot that I just want to wear shorts. And I'm even considering bringing this pair of black shorts. Yeah, maybe just to be safe. I mean, it's not going to take up that much space in my bag anyway. So we've got 2 pairs of shorts. So now I just want to see how many combinations I can make with each pair, just to really make sure that it makes sense to pack all of these. So these are all the combinations I think would look good with my light wash jeans. So I think the plain white tops with these jeans would look great with these red shoes. I think this like quarter sleeve top for a nice dinner and these jeans would look good with these little Mary Jane heels. I think honestly any of the cami tops would look great with these jeans, and then like a pair of flats to go with them. And same with this green patterned peplum top. I think for any of these combinations I would wear either of these to dress it up or flats to just walk around for a casual day. Here are the combinations for my white pants. I mostly just picked out my darkest tops to go with it, but for example this little black peplum with these black flats I think could be a super cute little look. Same with the black cami top. And then I would assume that I would only really wear this striped top for a dinner. So if I want to dress it up, I can wear these heels. And then if it's for more of an evening stroll, I could just wear these flats. And then if I want a lighter look, I think this green peplum top with these neutral flats could be super cute. These are the combinations to go with the balloon pants. These pants are a lot more casual, so I just thought pairing them with the tighter fitting cami tops would be a lot nicer, and I would probably just wear sneakers with these outfits. And I'm mainly just bringing them to lounge around my room in, and I'm also bringing this crew neck sweatshirt to wear these on the long flight over to Europe. These are all the combinations for the black shorts, and here are the combinations for my denim shorts. So now I'm checking the weather of the different regions I'm going to be visiting, because I'm really not sure if I should even like think about layering. So for the more northern places we're going to visit, it looks like it will be a bit colder at night. So I will go decide which things to bring for layering. I just have this little button-up flannel here, and since it doesn't look like it's going to be too cold at night, I thought this lighter layer would be nice to just carry around with me. So I think those were all the clothes that I wanted to bring. Of course, I'm gonna have like underwear and socks and things like that, but these are just the fun little things. Hello again. It's actually the next day, but now we are so much closer to the actual flight time, so I am going to start packing right now. I am feeling a little overwhelmed because I usually have like this massive list, but I'm just kind of going with vibes this time around. My clothes are already all on the bed. My shoes are all over here. Yeah, I guess I'll just like start rummaging all of my belongings and think through the things that I'm gonna need for the next month. I'm gonna start small. I'll start with the things that I want to have on me at the airport, and then I will go into carry-on stuff, and then we'll move to checked luggage stuff. I have my airport outfit all picked out, and my goal is to be like almost completely packed by the time I go to bed tonight, so that tomorrow before the flight I can just focus on like cleaning the apartment and setting up my little plant irrigation thing, and like literally just the finishing touches before leaving. I also am realizing I have quite a few things to charge, like my portable charger and like my handheld fan. I haven't done this before, but I'm thinking I might try to spray rose water on my face throughout the flight, because usually when I land my skin is so incredibly dry, so I'm hoping to avoid that this time around. But I'm realizing I actually don't have very much of my rose water left, so I'm thinking I will empty the rest of this into my little travel spray bottle, and then I'm gonna try to run to the store before it closes tonight, and I'm just gonna buy a full-size version and keep it in my checked bag. I don't actually own noise-canceling headphones, so I'm planning to put these earplugs in and then put my headphones on top of that. And then I also have quite a few empty tins that I've already washed, so I think I'm probably just gonna empty them into the tin. I think it will just be so much cuter to have them in a tin than in like a plastic bag. But so far, this is what I have for the plane. These are the clothes I will be wearing on the plane. And then I have very minimal makeup. This is just for after I land. And just some other things like hand sanitizer, a little scrunchie. I'll have this. And then over here, I just have my stuff for sleeping. I'm gonna start looking for things that I want to keep in my carry-on. I also need to go fetch my passport and stuff like that. The fun part, I just chose 3 books to bring with me. That might sound excessive, but I just like to give myself the option to choose when I'm there based on like the vibe I'm feeling. I am already reading this book, and I think I will probably finish it on the trip. This one I am also reading, and I think it's very possible that I finish that as well. And then I recently picked up this book, and I think this looks like something I would also like to read on this trip. And I think I will bring this one with me on the flight because it is just a bit smaller and it's a paperback, and I think this one I just really wouldn't want to like ruin it or scuff it up in any way, so I will just keep this in my checked bag. I think the last thing I have on my list is just snacks. So I'm gonna go in the kitchen and see what kind of snacks I can just keep with me just in case. And then that is literally the extent of the list that I started. So for the rest, I'm just gonna like actually be looking around and grabbing random things. These are all from a recent road trip, and I was looking for snacks that are not going to like stink up the plane and also are not going to be an absolute hassle to eat. So we have some beef jerky, some banana chips, and this protein snack mix. Maybe I'll try to put them all in smaller bags because These are some pretty massive bags. So far, I have all of my clothes and packing cubes over here. Got my prescription and then some contacts. These are all of my like skincare and makeup things. And then I just grabbed all these little like pouches and bags that I have. Some of them, like this one, I usually store all of my little perfume samples in, but I might use this to carry some of my travel stuff. This is my little travel jewelry case. I'm already pretty tired, so after I load up my little jewelry case, I am going to eat some lunch. It's been a few hours since I had lunch. Off camera, I gathered a lot more things, so I have everything that I need laid out on my bed, and it is a nightmare to look at. This is what we're working with right now. I did end up putting my jewelry in here. Okay, I've got all sorts of stuff, so I will start with the biggest pile. The number one hack that you will always see for packing is rolling your clothes, and like specifically rolling your clothes and putting them into compression packing cubes. I have already accepted that I am not really packing light on this trip, so I am just going to be smart with how I'm packing everything. I think the other thing that really helps when you're at least trying to pack efficiently is planning your outfits ahead of time, like at least trying on different things and figuring out the right combinations so that you don't pack like too many elements of clothing. And then also making sure that you know which occasions that you're packing for. Knowing that you'll need a certain outfit for a certain occasion is going to help a lot, instead of packing for every possible occasion that you might not even do on the trip, you know? First packing cube. Second largest, I will put my pants in here, and I guess just all my bottoms. For jeans, it's a bit harder to actually roll them, so I'll just place them folded. Okay, next I'll do my blouses. I think I actually want to try fitting all of my clothes in this compression cube, and then honestly just leaving this one empty so that I have the option to buy some new clothes there. Ooh, compression socks. I will throw this on my airplane pile. I am going to bring this tote bag just so I have one to bring around with me, but maybe I can use it to organize some things to like separate from the rest. Something happened and there's no sound for the rest of my footage, so I'm just gonna do a little voiceover. I got this huge box of Lactaid. Where I'm going, there's a lot of cheese. I also gathered my hair tools. I wasn't sure that I was gonna need it, but there was a chance that I was going to a special occasion on this trip, so just packed it. Also packed my nicer purse and my perfume. I was looking for a bag with some cushion to put it in. Usually I use this bag when I travel, but I had a feeling I was going to use it for my nail polish. I like to give myself a little manicure every week, so I wanted to make sure that I just had everything that I wanted, especially when I travel. I just love to have my nails looking all pretty. And then I realized that my jewelry case actually had so much empty space, so I figured it would be better to just pack some of my smaller things in there. I didn't know that piece came out, so this is me discovering the possibilities. I just grabbed some loose, smaller things like my replacement blade for my razor and then some like skincare samples. I honestly don't know why I bring them, but it just feels like appropriate for travel. And then I added some extra heel inserts just in case I needed them for either of my heels or my flats. I recently put them on this pair of shoes and it made things so much more comfortable to just walk around. So, you know, I had an extra pair, figured I would just have it there just in case. And then I wanted to pack some floss. Usually I use one of those water flossers, but I have these for travel, and I got to use another one of my tins for this. Next, I gathered all my contact lenses and I counted out how many I would need for the next month, and then I included a few extra pairs just in case. I stacked them quite nicely and then I put them in one of my smaller fabric bags. I was worried I would need some sort of box for them, but they actually worked so nicely in this bag and they were a lot cuter that way. Then I used my bigger fabric bag for all my hair stuff. Then I was left with all these beauty products, so I just gathered them in my tote bag and used that to separate them from the rest. Next, Next, I just kind of grabbed all of my makeup. Usually I keep it pretty minimal, but I included some extra things, you know, just in case I had like a special occasion or wanted to have some extra shimmer. And usually I fit all my makeup into this bag. And to separate my brushes, I used this like harder plastic bag. Usually if it's more of like a durable material like this, I just keep the packaging. This one was for, I think, eyebrow razors, but you can see it worked pretty perfectly for this specific purpose. I think here I was talking about how this concealer started kind of leaking and how I was worried that it was gonna leak everywhere. It did end up leaking everywhere, so I guess I was right. And all my makeup fit pretty perfectly in this bag. And then I also packed some Q-tips because sometimes I use those to just clean up my mascara or eyeliner. So this is how the whole mess on my bed ended up all organized and separated out. So this bag has all my makeup, this one has my jewelry, and then the smallest things that I wanted to bring packed into it. This one has all of my nail things and like manicure sort of tools. This one has my hair stuff. This one has my contacts and my prescription. This is just my big box of Lactaid. I ended up taking all of the packets out of the box to fit it easier. This is my tote bag full of all of my loose beauty products. And then when I arrive at the destination, I would take all the stuff out and then use the tote bag to carry around like my water bottle and whatever else I needed for the day. This was just my nicer purse. I just wanted to lay it flat in my bag so that it wouldn't get too wrinkled. These are things for my carry-on. I've got my electronics. For some reason, I was really excited to show you guys me putting the earplugs into the tin. I don't know why, but I found it pretty satisfying. And there it is. And then finally, it was time to actually put everything into my checked bag. So I started with my shoes. I had one bag for my heels, and I tried to stack them in a way that like wouldn't take up too much space. Next, I did my flats. Luckily, these smushed down pretty nicely, so it was pretty compact. So I started by just putting my packing cubes in there and then fit one of my bags of shoes. In this other section, I could just put all of my bags of things. I ended up keeping my perfume in this like microphone pouch because it was nice and cushiony. And my loose things like my purse and belt, I just put in my extra packing cube. So this is how my checked bag ended up looking. I didn't leave as much space as I wanted to for bringing back souvenirs. So I actually brought an empty bag that I fit into one of my other bags, and then I used that on the flight back to carry all of my souvenirs and stuff. In this little purse, I kept all of my airplane essentials. So I've got my earplugs, my passport, my wallet, my compression socks, my sleep mask. I just kept some of my purse essentials in there, so that's why there's random stuff kind of scattered. And this was my clear bag of all my little products that I kept in my carry-on. And that was everything. So thank you so much for hanging out with me as I packed for my month-long trip. I hope you're all doing well, and I appreciate you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!